Well, hello everybody. This is probably not a video I wanted to make, but unfortunately, I've got to respond to this. Basically, simply, while my wife was talking to her sister-in-law this evening, I decided to go on Twitter just to have I don't go on every day just to check. And there's somebody there from a lassie who I follow. I think it's a lassie. I hope it is. Called Jocelyn. And she put a wee sort of 28-second segment of the latest Lloyd Evans video, which only got put up 2 hours ago. Now, a lot has happened with Lloyd Evans recently. A real lot has happened. And I've really held back because I just thought, I don't want to go down there again. Because everybody's accusing me of, I should change the name of the channel. In fact, it's no longer anything witnessing the channel title anymore. As we all know, because it says Soundtrack of Our Lives, which I've sort of not done any of those music videos for ages. I need to get back to that. Anyway, this video, it's his latest video, put two hours ago, and the video is entitled Things Are Bad. And it was set outdoor in sort of the sunshine in Zagreb, I suppose, in Croatia. And really is literally, it's like another... More, please. It's one of those, he refers to it in the video that people actually watch the video and think it's a begging video, and it is a begging video, and it's fucking embarrassing. It is absolutely embarrassing. And the reason why it's embarrassing, this is a grown man who has children, who's basically throwing it out there to say, look, you need to keep my wife in employment, even though they don't live together. You need to keep this bloke called Tibor in employment, who wasn't even an ex-Jehovah's Witness. You need to keep us going. More, please give us money. And this is the guy, and lots of figures have come out recently, lots of figures about how much his company's actually making, and it seems to be a hell of a lot of money. He seems to be earning a hell of a lot of money, a lot more money than I'm earning and other people are earning. I'm now working full-time now. And I'm 60 years old. I'm a lot older than Lloyd Evans. Here's a guy who's fundamentally afraid to do a day's work. And he's begging people to keep him in the position of not having to work. This is what it's all about. He's afraid to work. So he's saying to people, please everybody, send me more money so I can upload a video every couple of days, and so I don't have to work, and my wife doesn't have to work, and this guy called Tibor doesn't have to work. And he says they're all part of this team. They're down to a team of 2, as we know that I don't think Kim Sylvia got paid for the stuff that she used to do, and none of the rest of them did as well. They went on the Cedar bandwagon gravy train or whatever it is. But anyway, basically he's saying that he's having to leave his studio in Ramakro, or should call it Ramakon, and he's going to have to leave there, and hopefully that his landlord will actually not ask for any money about it. And he's actually now he says he's at Helm's Deep level. It's a shame, because I love Lord of the Rings. To the fact that I'm hearing this work-shy lazy bastard actually referring to we're at Helm's Deep level. Actually, Helm's Deep level actually wasn't a bad thing, because if anybody's watching Lord of the Rings films, it's actually a victory. Helm's Deep was a victory for Aragorn and for all the rest of them. It was a victory, against all odds. They survived, and then they all had a great big piss up back in the capital of Rohan, which is Mount Sunday, which I've actually been to in New Zealand. I'll throw that in there. But, he's actually going down to, Helm's Deep level. It's just pathetic. This guy is not at Helm's Deep level. Basically the way he's speaking is like somebody who's really at the bottom. I know people, I've even been there myself, who literally sometimes just do not know where to go next. They haven't got a penny to, to pot to piss in. I've been there, and I know loads of people who are still there. And I'd be there now if luckily my wife wasn't working full time, and that I was still having to work full time when I'm now 60. But this guy, I don't know how old he is, he's clearly 10 years younger than me. And when was the last time he did a decent day's work? He thinks that putting up these videos is him working. And he's saying that he'll only get down to, now what is it, work, he may be struggling to do a video 3 times a month because he hasn't got T-Ball to edit it. It's funny enough because the guy, the guy does JW Thoughts. The guy does JW Thoughts. He does his own stuff. Kim and Mikey doing their own stuff. You know, they all do. You know, Kim Silvio does it. So everybody who does this sort of stuff here doesn't require a partner, well, ex-partner, and somebody who wasn't even a witness to edit their stuff. They just do it on their own. And they can, if they want to, do a video a day, if they want to, you know, building it in with their work schedule, whatever they do if they're retired. But this guy, funny enough, to produce the same contents that Wally does, and Wally does it even better. Wally's stuff is really, his graphics are pretty brilliant. Wally does it, he doesn't need an editor, he doesn't need a former partner to help him do his videos. But this guy here is putting the guilt tripping about it, saying, well, I'm going to have to pay off my wife. We're going to have to pay off T-Ball. For the love of God. He could have saved a hell of a lot of money if he hadn't to spend a hell of a lot of money going to Thailand, probably paying a hell of a lot of money for prostitutes, you know, and all the other prostitutes he's been paid for. He could have stayed in the family unit, living, you know, in the ground floor of his father and mother-in-law's house, not probably paying any rent. But this guy decided to fuck it all up and then go to the capital, rent one gaff where he's living at the moment, and also paying for a separate studio. And at the same time, you know, we can see him doing social events online where he's doing open mic nights and he's doing karaoke nights, and he's then going on, oh, we can't afford our daughter's haircut. Yet at the same time, he's clearly bleaching his hair every bloody week, because otherwise his roots would be coming through at the moment. They're not, because clearly he's still got the money to pay for his roots, but apparently the company is running at a loss. It's just incredible. What is going on here? And let's remind ourselves that he said in this video, and I'll put the link on this video, because you have to watch this. You have to watch this to seriously believe what's going on here. He put in this video that the legal system is going to what was it, glacier proportions, like it's slowly melting like glaciers do. Although with global warming, they're dissipating at a fast rate. He's saying that basically these legal procedures to try and bring justice to him when there is no justice, because he's the person who admitted what he's done and everybody else has commented on it, that it's going to take years. So I know what lawyers are like. They literally, you know, by the hour is phenomenal. So if you want to save some money, call off the witch hunt and Kim Silvio and the rest of the Magnificent Seven and the other 5, including me, and just say, I tell you what, hands up, yeah, I'm going to own this one, and just call it off. But unfortunately, he's so delusional that he thinks he can still carry on this campaign to bring, as he called, so-called justice through the lawyers he's using, which are costing a lot of money. Simply put, lazy boy, call off the dogs, and you may save some money. Move back in with your wife, and you may save some money. You've employed her, why don't you go and live back with her? Don't do these. Stop with the stupid blonde haircuts. Stop with travelling all over the world. Stop with the Ramaho, well that's Ramapoo. Stop that, because that's ended anyway, and save yourself extra rental and go and resume the family life and actually behave like a husband and father. And get a job. It isn't that hard. He's a young guy, I'm sure he can get a job. But apparently no, and he's guilt-tripping everybody by saying, you're basically saying that he was engaging, he sounds like a Jehovah's Witness. It sounds like I'm engaging in a life-saving work. And he actually says, we just don't know which one of the videos is going to trigger somebody into leaving the truth, and I'm saving their life. So in other words, he's saying, if I put up less content, there's less chance of people watching it and then finally realising that it's a complete load of bullshit and changing their life, even though loads of other people are doing that now and doing it better, including this guy Wally, who has more views than this guy does anymore. And finally he says there was a campaign to bring him down, and he survived the campaign, and it didn't really work. There was never ever campaign. I've said this so many times in the past year. There was never campaign. There was never a coordinated campaign, but a bunch of guys and girls got together and said, we've got to bring this guy down. There was no campaign at all. There was just a lot of people just watched this guy and probably respected him, or somebody a lot early doors saw him for what he was. And then thought, you know what? This should not be the man who represents the ex-JW community. He should not be the face of the ex-JW community. He's completely compromised and needs to step away from this. And he has not done that. So there is a coordinated campaign, but he seems to think there is a coordinated campaign, which, you know, because it sounds like, oh, the world's against me. And all the Lloydites who still watch his videos still believe in him, you know, because he is the new Messiah. He is the new, I watched that Waco thing, you know, the guy who David Koresh, it's Lloyd Koresh. All these people are willing to, you know, stick with him, even though obviously he's a fraud and he's a fake. Anyhow, I don't know what to say. I watched that and it's absolutely got my back up, and I don't want to feel as angry as I do at the moment, because I haven't watched any of his content for months and months and months. I've just kept away from it, but sadly I thought I had to respond to this, and I wish I hadn't done it, because it's upset me night. This guy doing this, and this guy coming from the same religion I was from, and literally he's using the same coercive, conditioning examples that the witness would do, that you buy into his bullshit, and that's what he's doing. He should just sit simple, call off the dogs, finish the thing with the lawyers, and actually move back in with your wife, sort out your life, sort out being a husband and a father, and actually get a job. That is the answer to this. Leave your videos where they are, and if you think they make any difference, they're still there. We don't need any more of this guy and his content. Honestly, watching this this probably is the worst Lloyd Evans video I have ever seen in my life, and I've seen some toppers, but this really is the worst Lloyd Evans video ever. Anyway, I don't know what to say. And the thing is, you can't even comment on the video to tell him, just get a job. Why don't you just get a job like the rest of us are doing? If I wanted to, I could load up a video a night, but I don't want to do that. I do maybe a video a week. This guy's saying, I'll only be able to do 3 a month. I'm doing 3 a month recently, and I work full time. So if this guy isn't doing anything, he could do 3 a day if he wanted to, because he doesn't do anything else apart from his open mic nights and his karaoke and whatever else he's doing, like travelling around the country. It is, it's awful. Honestly, if my fist could go through this screen, I'd just punch this guy in the face. Well, no, I wouldn't punch him. I'd just slap him. I'd maybe slap him about just to say, wake up, for the love of God, and man up. I'm so annoyed by this. Anyway, I'm going. Fuck me. How did I get involved in this shit? Fucking hell.